Welcome to Man's Man Monday, a production of the James McGee Show, where it's okay to be masculine, it's okay to be tough, and it's okay to be, well, be a man. Join your host, James McGee, on discussions what a man should be and put an end to the toxic masculinity movement.
Welcome back to the James McGee Show. I am your host. I am James McGee. It is Man's Man Monday. So it's been a while since I recorded a Man's Man Monday. Been really busy working on some of the other shows and getting them dialed in. Two Finger Tuesday, and then we started McLooney live, and we went live with Two Finger Tuesday. So it's been a pretty good run. So I had a personal story that I wanted to share, and I was kind of debating if I was going to share it on The World Doesn't Give a Fuck Friday or Man's Man Monday. Either one, it would have worked. So I'm going to combine it, and we're going to do it today. So the last year of my life, and I've talked about it a little bit before, and I haven't ran from it, has been a pretty rough. It's coming out really good, and it's getting better every day, and it's showing to truly be a blessing. But it's been rough. A lot of it was self-induced. I made a lot of mistakes. Some of it wasn't. A lot of it wasn't. But it's just life, and you have to live with it, and you have to move on. And that's what I have done. So I lost a lot of friends. Pretty much almost all of them. And I've made a lot in the in the interim. I've made a lot, and just it's totally had a life change, and it's been really, really great. It's really been a blessing. But when you detach from situations, you realize what you see a lot of things different. And what I saw was the neglect that I had on the people that really needed me and counted on me. And I should have been there for more. And one of them was my son. Now he has been on the show. He has we talk about a lot about his Tourette's, and we talked about when he was on the show. It has been hard. It's been really hard for him to, as an adult. Most of the time it gets better, but it's gotten worse. He was having a hard time getting a job, and then getting a job, keeping a job. So I took this time and really focused on what can we do. We decided to do go into business, because it was just not going to work him working for other people. So I said, hey, I'm going to put every bit of effort, every bit of money that I have. We're going to do this, and we're going to make it. And I know that we can, and we are right now. But it's been hard. Owning a business, starting a business is really hard. And then you tack on some of the things that I have encountered because of some people that have chosen to work really, really hard against me. It's been really hard. So about probably 3 months ago, I had a guy that I knew him. I hadn't talked to him a long time, but knew him from school. Good guy. He reached out to me and he said, hey man, I heard what you're doing, and my company is looking for a company like that. And this would have been a really good contract. And he told me, he said, look, you're the guy. I know you're a good guy. We just got to work some details out. I was excited, because what this contract was going to do was going to allow me to hire my son full time. Now, we were doing some things that he was making a little bit, but we didn't have enough work for it to be full time. This contract was going to allow that. Man, I was so excited. And I was really excited. I didn't seek it out. He sought me out. Well, he had told me he was going to get back to me, and he didn't. I reached out to him, and he just ghosted me. And I mean, I've called him 3 or 4 times, and that's not like him. I know the guy. He's a good guy. Well, about 3 weeks ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago, he called me and he said, "Look, man, I'm sorry. And I don't know how to tell you this." He said, "And I can't say much because my job would be on the line, but I want to tell you that the reason why I couldn't call you back because the idea of you coming to work for us as a subcontractor got niched. And the reason why is a person called our boss and told them that if we did any business with you, that there would be consequences." And I'm not going to go into detail, and I'm not going to reveal anybody involved. And if you're local and you're listening to this, then don't even ask me who anybody is, because I'm not. I'm telling the story in general because it's a story that I have to tell. I feel like it's worth telling. So he told me the person, and this person, he's not a friend. He wasn't a good friend. He wasn't my best friend. This man was like my brother. We were that close. And to hear that he called somebody and told them that if they did business with me, after everything me and him had been through, that there would be consequences, major consequences for that company, was devastating. This man and I go back 20 plus years. And the stuff I have been through with him, look, I made some mistakes, but what I've been through with him don't even compare. And what I stood by him with. And me and this man never had a falling out. Never called me and asked me, "Hey, I heard this," or I did. He just turned his back on me, which is fine. Looking back on it, when I was detached, he was just a major liability in my life. And I'm really so much better without him. But it was devastating. He hurt my child. He didn't know this, but we were depending on that contract for him to be full time, for him to have a good salary, and to get his life where it should be. A talented, smart man, because he has Tourette's, can't make it. So we decide to put everything that we have, every ounce of energy into this, to have a man who was supposed to be family to us. My son called him uncle, to betray us and to go after us and try to destroy us. A lot of my life had been destroyed. You're going to try to destroy it. I'm rebuilding. You're going to try to destroy it again. I kept it inside for weeks, and I wasn't myself. Didn't tell. I didn't tell my wife. I didn't tell my best friend. I just kept it inside, and it was killing me. Well, one day it got to me, and I had a meltdown, and I was in the fetal position. And I finally told my wife, and I finally told my best friend, and I got it out. And in my world, you have 24 hours to feel sorry for yourself. Something bad happens, you got 24 hours. Get your fucking shit together, pick yourself up, and get back in the fucking game and go win. You're a fucking winner. You're a man's man. Get it back in the game. And it was hard, but I did. And I don't know what happened, but I turned the page that day. And I have been, and this company has been unstoppable since that day. Picked myself up and I just got busy and I just sat down and started writing things out. I am day to day, just day to day, normal days. I'm not really normally I'm not worth this. I'm really not your guy. In an emergency, I'm your fucking guy. If you have an emergency, shit's falling apart, I'm your guy. That's my talent. That's what I do. So it was an emergency. My life was a dire straits emergency. And I went into emergency operations mode and I figured it out. Come up with a plan. The next day, started implementing the plan. And knock on wood, it has been the best 3 weeks in a very, very long time. Our business has completely soared. Now, be careful on saying that because, uh, it could put the whole thing could fall apart today. But I got myself together. I realized, as I talk about the world doesn't give a fuck and nobody cares, being a man's man. Well, I'm telling this story because I'm not just preaching it. I have to live it too. And I do uh, go through that. And I have to tell myself, just like I get on TikTok or get on YouTube or Facebook and talk about it, I have that talk with myself and say, you're a fucking man's man. Grab your fucking balls, fuck them pieces of shit, and get up and take care of your family. You're a leader. Lead your family through this crisis. You are a crisis leader. That's what you pride yourself on. You pride yourself on being a crisis leader. Well, you're in a fucking crisis. Get out there and lead because the world doesn't give a fuck and you're a man's man. And that's what I did. It was hard. I wanted revenge. Well, I'm getting revenge, but I'm choosing to go a different route than the normal me would do. Of course, what I wanted to do was go to that man's house and beat the fuck out of him. That's what I wanted as revenge. But that's not the best revenge. That's temporary. There's consequence to it. Not the best revenge. The only option of revenge is success. Some people say, man, the best option for revenge revenge is success. No, it's not. It's the only option. The only option you have in your life for revenge is success. If somebody does something similar to you, success is your revenge. I am going to build, along with my son, we are going to build a kick ass multi-million dollar company. That's what we're going to do. And I'm going to thank the person that did this because all he did was motivate me to fucking succeed more than I ever have in my life. I have enjoyed some successes in my life, enjoyed a lot of failures too, self induced, like I said. But this will be the biggest success of my life. And I owe it to the haters. I owe it to the people who betrayed me. So that's what a man's man does. Gets up, dusts themselves off, and gets her ass back in the game. So until next time, tomorrow night, Two Finger Tuesday, and then Wednesday, McLooney Live. We're going to have a really good show. Deirdre is going to come on and tell us about what she experienced in North Carolina. But until then, McGee is out.